A lot of people are talking about using low carb diets to help and fix insulin resistance. That doesn't always happen and work for women. And there's a condition called physiological insulin resistance, otherwise known as glucose tolerance mode. And this is when your muscles start using fat for fuel. See, glucose is really important in the body. This is also missed in the low carb rhetoric. And there are certain cells that only can use glucose. So there's certain blood cells, there are cells in your thyroid, there's certain brain cells, there's very important cells all through your body that require glucose. And so when your glucose level is really, really low, say you're doing keto, carnivore, or just a super low carb diet, like under 50 grams of carbs a day, then your body has to deal with this and it goes into physiological insulin resistance. This means is that little bit of glucose that you have that maybe you're converting from protein or you're taking from that 50 grams of carbs, that gets saved for all of these cells that require glucose, and cells that don't need glucose, particularly your muscles, start burning fat for fuel. This is sold as a benefit, but the problem is what happens when you eat carbs again. And this is what I see all the time. When you start eating carbs again, you don't have the sink. Your muscles are a great sink for both insulin and glucose. When you eat a meal and your glucose goes up, your liver will put some in your bloodstream. If that's high enough, then it will hold on to some. And if that's high enough, it will shunt it into your muscles. You want this to happen. But if you've been on a low carb diet and you haven't gone through a process to get yourself out of physiological insulin resistance, then your muscles, even though your carb intake is back to normal, your muscle still doesn't burn carbohydrates and glucose anymore. And that can lead to really high blood sugar, giant blood sugar swings without you eat it while you're eating a really healthy diet. Pattern of this is you go on a low carb diet, you feel okay, but you're craving carbs like crazy. Then you go back to eating normally, which is just like a whole food diet with some carbs in them. But now you have these massive blood sugar swings. You're going up and down all the time. This is a physiological insulin resistance. So what we need to do is train your muscles to use glucose again. I can help you in a one-on-one. I have a protocol for that. But what I want to tell you is if you're considering the low carb diet, especially if you're a woman over 40, there are ways to balance your blood sugar. You absolutely can reverse insulin resistance while still eating carbs and starches. I have a blood sugar and insulin resistance guide. There's a link in my bio, but just know that whole foods with fiber and healthy starches are really, really good for your body. They can help your body just function better, and you do not need to go low carb. And if you are low carb and you're getting these swings, just know it's fixable.